All right, we are officially live here on this Friday morning, and this is our jam session. So today is September 24th. It's a Friday. It's our jam session, and we are going to we're going to kick this thing off pretty soon. And I'll just give you the topic real quick. And it was actually inspired by a call I was on with one of our students. And it came down to this thing, and that is why finding your competition is key to building a successful niche property. And it's something that I see people missing or overlooking and thinking that, well, if someone's already done it, I should probably go in a different direction, which isn't necessarily true. So I'm going to walk you through why it's so important to find that competition. And then from there, see how competitive that space is and really allow them to kind of lead the way. All right. And I know it seems as though you're going to be directly competing, which, yeah, you will, but sometimes you can kind of go in other directions as well. So that's what we're going to cover here in the jam session today. We are going to keep this tight. We're going to keep it to around 15 or 20 minutes. The reason why is, well, I'm going to be heading back out of town, heading back to Myrtle Beach for another beach volleyball weekend. So that's where I'm heading. So before we get rocking and rolling, it does say video choppy. So Salma, thank you for letting me know. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to play with something here and try to get this right before we officially kick this off. So go ahead and let me know if that cleans up at all, Salma, or whoever else is watching that can still see me. I see that my signal is a little low, and it might be because I have something that is uploading in the background. So what we might need to do here is we may need to pause that because we don't want this thing interfering. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and X off of that real quick. And let's see. Fuzzy, you're grainy. Video's still bad. Okay. All right. All right. I hear you. I hear you. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. And let me know if that gets better. Let's see. It does still show that my connection is not the best. So hold on 1 second here, guys. 1 second. Let's see. Geo. Yeah, I know. All right, let me know. It looks like it's cleared up a little bit on my end. Let me know. I'm going to wait a minute, see if it clears up for you guys. Getting better. Good. Yeah, I see that the signal looks better on my end. So that's good. It's always a good sign. Cleared up. Okay, good. All right. Cool. Seems better. Awesome. Well, yes, I guess it was on my end. I was actually in the process of uploading something and I needed to pause that. Awesome. So it looks great now. We're clear now. We're not fuzzy. That's good. All right, cool. So like I said in my fuzzy beginning there, is we are going to be talking about today in this jam session. So again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. You guys know I'm here to answer any questions you have while we have this time together on this Friday morning. But really what I'm going to be talking about is why finding your competition is key to building a successful niche property. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had a coaching call the other day, and I'll explain that here in a second. But it was this one thing that was missing. And I explained to them why it was so important. And then it makes sense. So it's just something that some people overlook. Actually, we just did a over-the-shoulder keyword research session yesterday with our BCA members. And I basically used competition to help me find keywords that I could rank for. So we want to use competition as our guide in a sense, instead of us just trying to guess and kind of go out there blind if we can. All right. So now that we're cleared up, now that we're coming through strong and we are not fuzzy and our audio is coming through good, we're going to go ahead and kick this thing off. And I should also say, if you guys did not get the email this morning. So for whatever reason, I sent out an email this morning too, and it looked like it had not been delivered fully for some reason. But I did our official announcement that we are kicking off the 1K niche property project #1. That's the one I've been talking about with the expired domain and stuff. We're going to be doing a blog post every single month. That's going to recap what happened the month before. And then the podcast episode will also be embedded there. We kicked it off today. It's actually live. You can go check it out. Yeah, it's over on the blog, brandcreators.com. If you go there, go to the blog section, you'll see that post right there. And it's called the 1K Niche Property Project. And this is what we're kind of looking at as season 1, because we'll probably do more of these. All right, cool. So let's get rocking and rolling. Let me go ahead and see if I can, let's see. Let me make sure that I can get our little jam session thing here. Yeah, there we go. Friday Jams, ask your question. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and officially kick this thing off, and then we'll get rocking and rolling with our day. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back to another Friday Jam session. Today, I am fired up because, well, we're going to be talking about something that I think is critical when you are trying to start or build and grow your business, or in this case, our niche property. So what I'm going to be covering here today in this jam session is, and my thoughts and my, advice on why finding your competition is key. It is critical to building a successful niche property. Heck, it's what you need to do if you're even creating a physical product. You need to find competition that has already paved the way, has already validated it. It is so critical. And I see so many people that will go out there and say, you know what? I'm going to create something that is completely different, something that's never been done before, and I'm going to make a huge splash in this market. And you know what? It might work. It just might. But when we're usually doing this, we don't want to guess. We want to take the time that we have, because we have very limited time, and we want to work on things that we know have worked in the past. We don't want to guess. Right? So we don't want to just reinvent the wheel. I mean, we can tweak it, we can make it a little better, but why not let the competition do it for us? They've already done the work. And so in this case, we're talking about niche properties. We want to find, and I always do this in my research when I'm looking for niches to potentially go into, is I want to find 3, okay, not 1, not 2, 3 different sites that are already publishing on this topic, on this niche, whether it's a full-blown niche or if it's a sub-niche. Like, I want to find a site that's already paved the way. Now, yesterday, and depending on when you're listening to this, it doesn't really matter, but we did a keyword research session that I did for our Brand Creators Academy students. So actually looking over my shoulder, opened up my computer, and I found 4 competitors. I used them to tell me what keywords I should be going after, because they've already proven it. They've already went out there and ranked for these keywords. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear that right now, but I've got chainsaws outside the door. They're out there cleaning up. It's our town, and they're cleaning up the tree limbs. They're going in and pruning, and they just happen to be here at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I apologize if you can hear that, but hey, who knows? Maybe you can't, because I've got such a really good noise canceling microphone here. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe if you guys are here live, and you guys can let me know, can you hear that chainsaw? Because I can hear it. It's pretty loud. All right. So back on track here. It was a little distracting. So what we want to do is we want to find our competition, and then we want to let them prove to us that, yes, this market is a good market to go into. And when we're doing our niche research, we're usually looking at traffic. We're looking at, do they have consistent traffic coming in? Is it a site that isn't really like a huge domain authority, like has a domain authority score of like a 50 or a 70? right? Is it something that's below 35? And have they seen growth over the last 6 to 12 months, as far as like ranking and getting traffic? And then are they monetizing through ad networks, through affiliate products, maybe digital products? So we're looking at those things as our validation pieces, right? So the other day I was on a coaching call with one of our niche property or properties class students. What I did when I first opened that class, I had a fast action takers bonus. And that bonus was a 30-minute session with me where we can get on and we can just go over either your niche or we can talk about your content plan, like whatever. And I had this call with a gentleman and his girlfriend, and they were going to do this together. And so we got on and they're like, we just want to kind of run a couple of niches by you and see what you think. I said, perfect. I said, here's what we're going to do though. I'm going to have you take what you learned, okay, and kind of sell me on it. Sell me on the idea why you should build a website in this niche. Like, why should you do it? Prove to me that there's traffic. Prove to me that there's content that's going to be able to be ranked for. Prove to me that there's ads being run and there's income being generated and there's affiliate products. Like, prove to me, sell me on this on this niche that you want to go into. And so they started going over the different metrics and stuff that we talk about, and I'm like, okay, this is good. And so they were showing me a couple sites that were getting good traffic, right, in this niche. But then what they said to me was something that I had to then say, hey, listen, why are we going in that direction? So I'll make this clear here in a second. I'm kind of all over the place. I can feel it because I want to get to the point, but I don't want to just blurt it out. But I'm going to blurt it out. Basically, they were like, okay, this over here, okay, this niche, let's just say it's bass fishing. Bass fishing, look at this. Look at the numbers. Look at the traffic we got. It's good. Everything's great. Everything is, and I'm like, yes. Everything looks great. And then they're like, so what we want to do is we want to start a niche site in deep sea fishing. See, because this way here, there's not a lot of people doing deep sea fishing. So if we do deep sea fishing, we're going to be able to have, easier time to rank. And I'm like, okay, where's the deep sea fishing proof? Like, you didn't sell me on that idea. You sold me on the bass fishing, right? I thought you were going to go in the bass fishing. Why are we over here now trying to make deep sea fishing work if we haven't done the validation piece on that? And so when we looked at that, then it was like, well, why don't you just start on bass fishing? And then we can always kind of go into deep sea fishing, and we can go into fly fishing, and we can go into snorkeling, and we can go into all of these other things if we want to, because it's related. But why start there if we have not proven that there's a website to follow that can prove it to us? And so when I had brought that to their attention, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But see, in their own head, they were still thinking, I want to be first in there, or I want to have less competition in there. I don't look at it that way. I don't care if there's 100 sites publishing in this niche. If I find 3 of them, okay, that are getting 25,000 page views per month, according to Ubersuggest, and they have a domain authority score of less than 35, okay, I'll do it. Like, why not? They're doing it. Why can't I do it? It's proof that I can get in there and still get traffic, right? But I want that proof. So I want to stress it here again today. If you do not have the proof, okay, if you don't have the validation of those, of those sites that are doing what you want to do and not looking at them as competition, is like, oh, they're going to outrank me, they're going to beat me. There's plenty of content that can be created. The other cool thing is now what we can do, okay, and this is kind of what we did yesterday on my call that I did as a keyword research over the shoulder look, where I actually found 30 keywords in a matter of about 35 minutes. And all I did was, because I have a site now that has a little bit of domain authority, I found sites that had a little bit less authority than mine. And now I looked at their keywords that's driving most of their traffic. And I said, well, I should be able to rank for them because I have a better domain authority. All right. Now, again, if none of this makes sense, it doesn't matter at this point. But what matters is we need these sites to allow us to have proof, and they can help us take the 80-20, right? So what I mean by that is if they've taken 100 articles and threw them out there just to see what's going to rank, 20% of them are usually going to rank. And I don't even mean rank, they're going to drive the most traffic. So I can take those 20 that they've already tested and then go with those, right? And maybe find another site or two and do the same thing with those. Find another 20% there, and then another 20% there. And then I can build on that. And as I get my own authority, okay, I can start going after a little bit of a bigger site, okay, or a little bit more domain authority. So that's basically how that works. All right. So that's why it is so important. It is critical to find your competition and really allow that to be the proof. Okay. And then you can, and I'm not saying you're going to go there and you're going to copy them. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to get inspired by them. And yes, you can. I mean, they've done it. You can look at keywords that they're ranking for and go, you know what? I want to create a better piece of content. I'm going to be a better resource in my space. Because a lot of times what you'll find is the content that's being published isn't that good. And that's actually good news for you, because if you create better content, most likely you will outrank them. Okay. Now that's not the only factor, but it's a pretty major one, because if you have better content with just better information, it's optimized better. It has good visuals, like good images, maybe screenshots. It has maybe a YouTube video embedded into it to give them more help in that area. You are going to do better. Okay. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you here today on this jam session. And it's why you have to find your competition. It is key to building a successful niche property. All right. So what I'm going to do here now is I am going to open this up for some Q&A live, and we'll see if we got any questions. If we do, I'll go ahead and answer them. If not, we'll go ahead and get on out of here. But if you are listening to this on the podcast, you're obviously not here live. But if you would like help building your niche property, here's my little shameless plug. Head on over to buildnicheproperties.com. Again, go to buildnicheproperties.com, and you can go over there and take our niche properties class. You can go through exactly what we've done on our first 2 niche properties, and now we're building our 3rd, 4th, and now 5th simultaneously. So everything that we're doing is taught inside of the niche properties class. I would invite you to join us if you're interested in building some digital real estate. And I'm telling you right now, this digital real estate market is just growing so fast. And there are sites out there right now. There's brokers out there right now listing sites just like real estate, just like you would, a house. And these things are being snatched up very, very quickly. So we need more inventory. So the cool thing is when we build this, guess what? In a year from now, or 2 years, or 3 years, we can sell it just like a piece of real estate. So it's pretty cool. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into some questions, and I will go ahead and do my best to answer them. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Well, I got some good news. Can't hear the chainsaw. That's amazing. This is an amazing mic. I'll be honest, because that was pretty loud. I was hearing it. So you are not. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Oh, Salma has a question on the niche property workshop. Are you still planning to do a live Q&A for niche property workshop? Yes, we will be doing one of those fairly soon. I have to just check with Chris. We're going to lock down another date. We are going to do one more bonus Q&A session for the niche properties class. So we will be doing that. Let's see here. Okay. This one here's a little bit of a technical question, I believe. How do you add the Hamburg menu instead of a listing all the pages on the top? Can you show that in the website creation in the niche workshop? Yeah, that's something that's more of a theme base. The theme that we use is Generate Press. It's a free theme. They do have some other add-ons that I think is like $60 a year, but you don't need that for this. But the Hamburg menu is generally only there on mobile. That's the only time that you really want it there. But then you would just have to create a custom menu inside of your back end. And again, I can't go through that here, but we could definitely create a training inside of that. If you wanted to shoot a quick email to us, support@brandcreators.com. And that way there we can put it on the list of potential trainings that we will be creating in the future. Let's see. And yes, as far as adding additional training, that's going to be coming probably early next week. And I know I said last week that we're going to be adding it. The truth is Chris lost his voice, which we still don't know what's behind that. He feels okay, just lost his voice. So it's coming back. So hopefully, yesterday we did it was our office hours call for BCA, and I was doing my keyword research, and he was managing the chat, but he wasn't doing a ton of talking. But yeah, his voice is back, so that's good. Let's see. Would it take longer to rank and sell a site if you can only do one blog a week? Well, yeah, if you are only doing one post per week, that's 52 articles a week, it is going to take longer. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's going to take longer to be able to not just rank, but be able to have more of a footprint out there, right? If you have a website that has 50 articles or one that has 100 articles, common sense says we're probably going to have more traffic because we have more lines in the water. So you can still do it. I think if I was only doing one per week, I would definitely want to be a little bit more, I guess doing a little bit more of the research to make sure that the keyword that I'm going after was going to be able to rank, and I was going to be able to start driving some traffic. And again, there's a little bit of, I'm going to be looking at other sites just like I went through there, and ones that have low domain authority. I'd be trying to find those to use those as my keyword research. If I wasn't worried about that, if I was just saying like, you know what, I just want to publish 100 articles in the next year, then I would do exactly what we teach inside of the class, which is basically going after low competition keywords and not worrying too much about traffic potential. So that would be that. But I would encourage anyone that, yes, start with one a week just so you learn the process. Absolutely. But then the minute that you start to get the process down, I would invest in getting content written. We have to treat this like an investment. We have to treat this like a business. If you're going to build a house and you only are able to work on it for an hour a week, it's going to take you a long time to build that house. But if you put in either more time or if you hire people to help you, you're going to get it done faster. At the end, we're either going to be able to rent that house out or we're going to be able to sell the house. It's the same idea. We have to think about this as an investment, and we need to get the thing built, right? So I would definitely encourage you to think about that. Let's see. Is it Fella? I think it is Benson from Kenya, East Africa. What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in, by the way. Came across your live and I'm thrilled about this. Any advice on how to commence? I really want to get started, but I don't know how to. I would say head on over to brandcreators.com and there's going to be some resources there for you. If you are someone like I am, where I just kind of want to get to work doing this, then I would go to buildnicheproperties.com and I would take the class. That's what I would do. But there's a lot of resources on the podcast if you go to Rock Your Brand, but that's all over at brandcreators.com. There's a bunch of resources over there for you. Do you recommend one site for 12 months? If that's all that your bandwidth allows, yes, I would say minimum of 6 months. I wouldn't want to go jump to another website because it can become overwhelming. So I would say if you have the time to do a second site, I wouldn't really encourage that, I don't believe, until you're maximizing the amount of content you're producing for the one, right? So I wouldn't start another site and then have to continually add more content to that. I mean, right now we have 4 actively being built. Actually, the 5th one is being built, but I'm not doing any of the work at all. It's literally going to be handed over to us with about 70 articles on it that are being written as we speak. And so that one there, I don't look at it as like it's going to take my time as of right now. But once we get the keys, then we're going to start backfilling it with more content, and then it will become part of our weekly to-do. So right now we have 4 of them running, and I'll tell you what, it's a lot to manage. right? It's a lot to manage. And we're doing anywhere from 2 to 4 articles per week per site. So yeah, it can become overwhelming. So I would say, start with the one. And if you feel like you have more time, continually build that one. I'd rather put more attention into the one than to have 3 of them going all at once. Let's see. Jambo. Oh, okay. That's the name, I think. Awesome. What's up, Alejandro, with my Apple? And yes, I have the glasses on today. What up, Professor? Back from jury duty. Oh, wow, the jury duty. Wow, that's interesting. Hopefully everything went well. Hopefully you're getting through that. I heard it could be tough. I've never actually had to do it. Oh, here's a random question. Your favorite way to generate income? Oh man, there's a number of different ways. I think right now, if I'm looking at like me physically doing the work, there's 2. I love teaching, so I love doing this. This is one great way that I'm able to generate income because I enjoy what I'm doing. And I think we always have to enjoy what we're doing. So I think teaching. And the second part is building. I love building things, whether that's building or remodeling a house and getting it ready to sell or to flip. Or I haven't done that in years, but I used to. Or if it's building a niche property and watching it grow. So I think that's a great way because to me it's passive income. Recently my Airbnb, I say recently, about 2.5 years now, that's been the most passive thing outside of these niche properties because I have a management company that takes care of it all. So that's one of my favorite ways, but just basically how you can create something, build it, watch it grow, and have it bring in steady recurring income, I think is one of my favorites. But I think building something from scratch and then watching it grow, or buying something, fixing it, like if you were to buy an older website and you saw some opportunity that you kind of fix it up in a sense and make it better and grow it and then sell it, that'd be fun too. Let's see. If you were restarting, what biz would you do first? I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I would probably be building websites like I'm doing right now, these niche properties, because that's what I'm into. And then I think I would be probably either creating another blog about what I'm doing and kind of giving the play-by-play, or I might just pick one specific part of that, like maybe content creation, and I would help people with that. I'd probably pick one small vertical to do. That's probably what I would do. Quick question. Let's see. Backlinks. I heard it on a podcast. Stan Ventures for backlinks. I've never heard of that, but I feel uneasy paying for backlinks. Feel better emailing them. Yeah, I don't ever want to pay for backlinks for, I take that back. I will pay for backlinks if it is done the right way. And the right way is what we're doing right now, which they call it a skyscraper link building campaign, which is basically you identify an amazing piece of content in your market that is already attracting links. People are pointing to it, or people are linking to it from their websites. And then what you do is you reach out to you create a better piece of content that's like that. And then from there, you reach out to these sites that have already linked to it and see if they would link to yours. That's white hat to me, because all you're doing is you're trying to speed up that process of you getting links pointed to that, that article. And that article, inside of that article, will be all of the content that'll lead also back to your website. So we have internal links going to that, and the links that come into that page will also then give the domain authority throughout the entire site. So I wouldn't pay for like link for link or any of that stuff. I wouldn't do any of that. PBNs, private blog networks, I wouldn't do any of that. And I haven't done any backlinking up until this point on this other site that we're building out right now as we speak. But I haven't done it to any of the ones I'm using as a case study as of right now. And we just got a backlink yesterday, I think it was, or Chris told me we got one, maybe it was last week, a domain authority of like a 55 or a 60 from a news outlet that basically referenced our niche property. So we got that naturally, and we've got over 1,000 backlinks all naturally. So just create really good content. Don't try to go out there and get just any links to your site because you think it's going to help you. If anything, I would invest in a skyscraper campaign, but I wouldn't do that in the very beginning. I would wait, to be honest with you, or just buy an expired domain. Maybe that. Let's see. You would have made a great high school teacher. Boy, I don't know about that. Man, thinking about going back to high school. Is skyscraper method a niche properties, or I think in niche properties class? No, but it will be, because we're actually doing that as a case study. So we're going to actually report on that inside of Brand Creators Academy. And inside of the niche properties class, we're going to add a module as we go through this process ourselves of like how to identify a good expired domain, where to buy them, what to do with them, kind of like how to validate them as well, make sure that they're in good standings with Google and all of that stuff. And then we'll also talk about some link building stuff. But that'll be coming a little bit later. And as of right now, like if you're just starting out, you don't really need any of that stuff. Let's see. Would you say backlinks are 20% importance to rank? Well, okay. So we had sites that were brand new. They weren't even out of the sandbox yet. And we were ranking within 4 to 6 months for long tail, easy to rank for, low competition keywords. There was 0 rank. So is it going to make it easier? Yeah, I think it is. And is it worth spending the money? It depends. It depends on what your budget is, and it depends on what your outcome is, or what your goals are. But I would say what the links do to your website is it helps to give it domain authority, which then will allow you to rank your content faster. And not always, but for the most part. Let's see. Alejandro says, Gio, trying to be teacher's pet, but a few of us are. What stats would you consider out of the sandbox? Well, I would say generally it's probably around 4 to 6 months, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But I would say if you write a piece of content and you notice that you are ranking, and I say, indexing and ranking within, I would say, a week or two, then I'd say you're probably out of the sandbox. And that could be, again, like this, like if you were to post a piece of content and you looked at your, what's it called now? Trying to think off the top of my head. It's not your analytics. It's your, gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. It's through Google. Oh, gosh, I don't even know why I can't come up with this off the fly. It's kind of where you look at your keywords, you look at your impressions, you look at your clicks. And if someone has that and they're here live, please put it in there. It's your site insights. They just changed it. That's why. Oh, Search Console. It's Search Console. That's it. I came up with it on my own. I didn't need any help. Search Console, your Google Search Console. What that will do is it will allow you to see impressions that you are getting, and it will also allow you to see kind of where you're indexing. Ahrefs also has this. They have it as part of their free, where you can actually plug in your website, verify it, and then it will show you when you are in the top 100, the top 4 to 10, and then top 1 through 3. And this is good to see just because you're starting to see that you're getting indexed. The Search Console. Yeah, thanks, Alejandro, Russ. So yes, it will be showing you that. So to me, that's like the first sign of life, right? Like if you have a brand new site and you're posting content and you're looking at that, just to see that you're being indexed is good. Now, because you're being indexed doesn't mean that you're going to go right immediately to page 1. When you are out of the sandbox, you'll probably get more ranking power. So instead of being in the top 50, you might be in the top 20 and then eventually working your way up. But with low competition keywords, sometimes you're going to make it there regardless because there's no other good matches out there. So again, I wouldn't stress too much on that. The big thing that we want to do in the beginning, guys, is we have to think about the long term, and we have to think about let's get our site seeded with all of these pieces of content, and let's get the relevancy. Relevancy is key. Okay. As we kind of spray our content out there and we get picked up, we're starting to gain relevancy, which is also part of our domain authority. So we want relevancy. And how do you get relevancy? You start creating a bunch of content that is on your niche, on your topic. And these are usually question-based posts. Can you catch bass in a pond? Can you catch bass in a lake? Can you catch bass at night? Can you catch bass on a rubber worm? Like, all of these things are around bass fishing. So obviously it's relevant. If you did a product-based post on that, like 5 best bass fishing rods, you would, again, it's relevant. So we want to be relevant to, our niche. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. I got to get on out of here. For those of you that are here live, I'm actually heading back out of town, getting ready to go to another beach volleyball weekend. Actually going to be watching some pros this weekend, which is going to be fun. My daughter's also playing in 2 tournaments. She's playing in an adult tournament, actually, AA. Any of you that knows what that is, it's a pretty high level. For her, she's only 13, so pretty good. So we're going to do that on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be in the 16U, and we're going to be on the beach. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And it might be windy, so it might be interesting to play volleyball because it's not as easy as when you are playing in just a beach court, not on the ocean. But we're going to be on the ocean this weekend. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I wanted to get this jam session done, though, for you guys and be able to talk about this because I think it's so important. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you want to be part of one of these live morning talks, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. You can join us over there. And then also, if you're interested in building your own digital real estate, your own niche property, and you want help, head on over to buildnicheproperties.com. Again, that's buildnicheproperties.com, and you can take the class there. We'll walk you through every step of the way. All right, guys, so that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you, and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Now let's rock your brand. Boom. Look at that, guys. I forgot all about the ending. I forgot I used to do that. It just came. It just flowed. So there you go, guys. A little random ending there for you. But anyway, hope you guys had a great week, and we'll be back here Monday. We'll do our Monday mindset. So stay tuned for that. And then everyone that is in BCA that's watching this, I just want to let you know, if you missed the deep dive yesterday, the keyword research that I did, that video is going to be added to the Q&A section of all the office hours calls. So that'll be in there momentarily. So, all right, just want to let you know. All right, guys, that's it. Have an awesome, amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Be safe.